um, Hello, people of YouTube. Welcome back to Minecraft. Um, Minecraft Vanilla. So, it seems like lately these videos aren't actually let's play videos anymore. They're kind of vlog type things. Not really vlog, but they're kind of videos where I talk about shit. So, um, I'll actually kind of start embracing this. I know I'm still not getting views on these videos, but whatever. Doesn't matter. If at a certain point people are gonna start watching these, I don't know why the people would start watching these, but whatever. Um, hey, good. uh, so yeah, what I'm gonna talk about for the beginning at least is the lack of videos. It seems that this is kind of a prominent theme on my fucking channel, where there's um, a small influx of videos, like 1, 2, or 3, one each day, or even more than one some days, and they're nothing for a while. Like, I think it's been more than a week since last I've uploaded something. Let me check right quick. Da, da, da. 4 days ago. Okay, so it's been 4 days now. I don't know how long it's gonna be till I actually upload this one. And the last one was another Minecraft one, so yeah. Um, yeah, it's a common theme because I'm still having the same issues. Like, my lack of uploading videos at this point, it's simply because there are none to upload. I don't record. And I've noticed that my videos are getting increasingly boring. Like, they're getting... This is shit that I upload right now. This is awful. There's just no more enthusiasm. I'm just such a fucking bore and such a drone. Just and that, I know why that is. It's simply due to the issues that I'm still having. They haven't gone away, which very much have to do with my financial problems. Like, I still have major financial issues. Major yeah. Why the fuck do you insist on coming? Okay. Right, so, I still have... What the fuck? Where'd you come from? Yeah, so I'm still having a lot of financial issues due to the simple fact that I don't have a fucking job. I've been having issues with the laptop as well, because I know what's going on. I know why it's not why I can't do that much on it. And I know why I can't really edit without using up 100% of the fucking processing power, which should not be a thing. Like, seriously, with a 2.3 gig processor, that's in hertz, right? 2.3 gigahertz processor, there should not be in any way, shape, or form usage of 100% on a simple render, right? However, there is, and that's been bugging me for a while. Where the fuck is the... Where are you? It's shooting at me from somewhere. There should not be a problem. However, I've recently discovered that the reason why there is a problem is simply the fact that my processor is not working at full capacity. It's actually working at it's actually working at 798 megahertz, when it should be 2.3 gigahertz. So it's around 30%. And for any math extremist out there, I know it's not exactly 30%, but it's in that ballpark. Okay? So shut the fuck up. But yeah, it's working at a much lower capacity than what it should be. So I actually started to investigate that, quote unquote investigate that. I looked into it, and it turns out I needed a BIOS update. Well, actually, it doesn't turn out I needed it. It turns out Dell told me to do it. So I contacted Dell, and I was like, dude, I'm having this issue. Of course, that was after I've figured it out by myself, through research. It turns out that a BIOS update was necessary. However, since I don't have a battery on this laptop, that was almost impossible, because I don't have a fucking battery, and flash, a BIOS flash would not work without a battery. Of course, it makes sense why it wouldn't work without a battery, because if your power gets cut off and the flash stops mid-process, you kind of fucked up your machine. You kind of bricked it. Of course, there are ways to restore it, right? You can go to repair shop, service type thing, and they can fix it. However, that costs money, which, let's be honest, what's the fucking point, right? And I called Dell, and I asked, dude, I have this machine, it's out of warranty, it's been out of warranty for a while now, and I need a BIOS update. Well, I didn't ask them that. I didn't tell them I need a BIOS update. I actually asked about the processor, hoping that it might be a different issue and that I might be able to fix it some other way without actually having to flash the motherboard. Turns out that was not the case. It actually does need a BIOS update for some fucking reason. I didn't ask why, because I was kind of too fucking angry to do it. And when I get too angry, I forget shit like that. Of course, that's important shit that I shouldn't forget, but I still do. So, called up Dell. Yeah, you need a BIOS update. Okay, I don't have a battery actually, so how the fuck am I supposed to do that? They were like, well, we don't know, just get a fucking battery, deal with it, it's your problem, because of course it's out of warranty, so, you know, it is my problem. And I started calling up service shops. I actually found a battery shop which kind of deals almost exclusively with batteries and chargers. It does a bunch of other stuff as well, but that's primarily their thing. They sell batteries. It's cool. It's good. I mean, they do just about anything else as well, like just about anything your laptop, mainly laptops. Of course, they deal with some other mobile devices too, like phones and whatchamacallit, like phones and tablets. But I don't think they deal with PCs, you know, like with desktops. So, yeah, I found them. I called them up, explained the situation, and they were like, well, come over and we'll see about it. I went over. They were very nice. They were nice enough to not even charge me anything for using a battery for using one of their batteries to flash my board. So I went over. I did it. I did it myself. It's not that big of a fucking deal. It was an executable in any case. So you just double click and it does its thing, right? So I did it right then and there. It took like quarter of an hour because I had to wait to charge up the battery because the battery was empty. So I had to wait to get it over 10%. And did it. However, that didn't fix my problem. My processor still works at less than peak efficiency, meaning still 798 megahertz. I have no idea why. I called up Dell again, and they're so fucking useless. I swear to God, the most useless customer service ever. I have never talked to somebody more lethargic and useless in my life. And it's not just the one person. I've talked to two people, and they were both just as shitty. Now, I don't know if it's the training. I don't know if it's what they're supposed to do. I just don't fucking know, but they were fucking useless. What do I mean by that? I mean that they didn't give me fucking anything when I told them, dude, see, I have this problem. The only thing they said was they asked me, the only thing they did was, and I hadn't started the clock again, so this is gonna be another fucking long one. Stopwatch. Jesus Christ. I haven't stopped it since the last time I recorded. It's been 127 hours. No. That's 50 hours. What? So it's been 12,000 hours? Something, whatever. It's been a long time. Start. So yeah, back to the thought at hand. The only thing they did was they asked me if I did the BIOS update. And when I said yes, the dude was like, well, did you reinstall your OS? What? No, I didn't reinstall my OS. Well, try that, and if it doesn't work, go to a service. So their troubleshooting was go to a service, go to a shop, and have somebody look at it. That's it. There was nothing. They, like, when I had problems with Nox, right, and I called up EA, dude, those people bend over backwards to help me with a free fucking game. So they bend over backwards to help me fix a game that I got for free from them, right? And Dell mainly did nothing. I mean, really, Dell? Like, you're not even... You're just buying components and putting them together. You're not even putting thought into these fucking machines. Nothing on this machine is designed by Dell except for the fucking case. That's it. The case is the only thing that is actually designed by Dell. So everything else is either Intel, AMD, Nvidia. So yeah, aside from the fact that they don't put any thought, they just buy components and put them together and sell them for fucking far more than what they're worth, right? For really exaggerated prices. So not only they do that, they don't even offer decent customer service. Like, that's fucking stupid. So of course, once they said, well, I don't know, take it to service, I hung up because there was really nothing else to add to that. Like, really, take it to fucking service. So now I'm basically stuck with a laptop that doesn't really run at peak efficiency. Like right now, I'm using 98%, 99, close to 100% of the processing power just with Minecraft and Fraps. And Fraps is using around 20 to 30%, and the rest is used by Java and Nvidia. So yeah, that is one thing that is exceedingly annoying. Now, I've kind of tried to reinstall Windows. Didn't have too much success with that. I might try it again. No. I'll try to do it properly. I'll try to reinstall it properly. Right, like do an actual proper job of reinstalling Windows with a reformat and everything. So maybe that'll fix it, which I doubt, but I don't fucking know. And if actually a fresh Windows install will fix my problem, then I'll be a fucking happy camper, because that means that I will be able to edit much easier. It'll be so much easier to edit, like so much, because being able to use the computer while I'm editing means that I don't have to leave it overnight anymore. So I can like record, edit, and post in the same day. Oh, angelic music coming down from the heavens. So yeah, But until I actually find a way to do that, well, my inventory is kind of full, so I should go back. How much iron do I have? I have a stack and a bit, so I can start smelting some more. So, right. And that was a thing that I did, and that took a few days. Me just running around, going to shops, calling up people, and getting a battery, and doing the fucking update, which I sincerely don't understand why. Like, shouldn't this come with the proper version of BIOS? Like, if anybody knows why this is going on, why the update needed, you're a smart fucking person, because I have no idea. Like, I literally don't have the slightest idea why this stupidity. So, yeah. God damn it. Yeah. And aside from that, the past few days, I've been in a weird state of, I'm not gonna call it confusion, because even though it is confusion, I've been in a really weird place, because I got a job opportunity in London to work for, I don't know if anybody's heard of these people, but for Sakare. They're actually making skincare products. So facial creams, hand creams, soaps, all that kind of bullshit that people seem to use, and meh, right? And I got a kind of an opportunity to go and work for them, and the job wouldn't have been too bad, even though there's a lot of shit there, like a lot of shit. And I do get it, since they're Israeli people. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a racist. I'm not one of those terrorist type people. Oh my god, they're Israeli, they're terrorists. No. However, I've worked with them before. I've worked with Israeli people before. And I admit that I am biased. So, I'm biased due to what? I'm biased to what? Like, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that they're mostly greedy bastards. And I understand that I'm a greedy bastard as well, and I myself would do kind of similar things. Try to get the most out of what I put out, right? Like, get the most profit possible. However, what I would be able to put up with most of what they said, and I somewhat would have been able to get the money to get the plane money and some money to, I don't know, eat French fries for a month until I get my first paycheck. I couldn't. I could have looked past the fact that the what's it called? Lodging? Sure, let's call it lodging. Would have been two people in one room? Sure. could have lived with another person in the same room, even though it's really not ideal. Because I really don't fucking like people. I'm a bit of a bigot. So I somewhat would have been able to get past that. I somewhat would have been able to get past the 10 to 11 hours work days, 6 days a week. So 11 hours per day, 6 days a week, which is, it's really not, it really shouldn't be legal. But the way they get past the legality of it, they don't actually employ us. Well, they don't actually employ their employers. They're salesmen. They're store people. How they get past it is they make their employees get self-employed, right? So you go to the government and you get a self-employment thing. It's like having a company, having a firm. So you're not so you're basically regarded by the state as a company, right? Not I really don't know the language, the rhetoric, I think it's called, for these things. I don't know the terms, the English terms, but you're basically regarded as a company. When you get self-employment papers, it means that you are basically a company. You're basically a firm, right? And I keep using the word firm because that's what our word for it is. And it's really not a company. It's basically a one-man company, right? You don't have shareholders. You don't have any such things. You don't even have stock because you're not an actual company. But what you are able to do as a self-employed, you can give out what are they called? God damn it. Man, you can give out what are those things called that when you go and buy something, you get a small piece of paper on which it said what you bought and how much you paid for it, and a bunch of other information. A receipt. You can give out receipts for the services that you provide, because basically you get self-employed to provide a service. That's usually people who usually do this is electricians, plumbers, basically service providers who don't need a big company, right? You're just yourself, right? So it's just dude, right? Who walks around? It's just a dude who has a toolkit and he goes around fixing people's lights and shit, right? Or unclogging faucets. I don't know. Fuck it. Now, this type of stuff, mostly for home use, right? So drywall people, because I don't know what it's actually called, but you get the idea. So those people actually usually get self-employed, and you need to be able to give out receipts, right? For any transaction to be legal, you need to be able to give out a receipt to the party, to the beneficiary, right? The people that, the person that actually paid you to provide the service that you provided, you need to be able to give out a receipt for that money, because they might, I don't know, deduct it, they might not. Um, Basically, they might actually, if they have a problem with the service you provided, like maybe you did shoddy work and shit, maybe as an electrician you did really shoddy work, and their house caught fire because of some shit you didn't do right, and if they have a receipt, they can actually prove that you did it. If they don't have a receipt, they can't prove shit. They're just their word against yours, right? Mainly when you go into a store and get a receipt, you get a receipt for the product. If the product is flawed in any way, you can return it, or you can actually call the, I don't know, the institution that governs them, like that deals with quality of those products. I don't fucking know. So you can call those people and say, well, you see, this store gave me a bad product and I paid for it this much. Here's the receipt. I know it's them. Or maybe if it's the food industry, you get sick from whatever they had in their food. Maybe it was old or stuff. Or maybe you have allergies and you can prove that you bought it from there with the receipt. That's mainly why receipts exist. The receipts, I'll basically prove that you purchased whatever you purchased from the place you say you purchased it from. And that is the reason why you should always fucking keep your receipts, because if you buy if you buy a $2 flashlight, then sure, you bought a $2 flashlight. You can't really expect it to last you 5 years. And you really usually expect that to malfunction as soon as you get out of the store, but apologies. When you buy a $500 laptop, then that's a completely different story. You need to be able to prove that you bought it, at least for warranty. Like if you try to get your warranty without a receipt, that's really hard to do. It's not impossible, but it's really hard to do. Or if you're trying to return something, again, without a receipt, you basically can't return anything. That is literally impossible to return something without the receipt, because you could have got it from somewhere else. How the fuck do they know that you bought it from them? I mean, they do know that you bought it from them. There is other proof aside from the receipt, like there's usually video footage, because they usually have surveillance, right? So yeah, but in any case, back to the self-employed crap. You are allowed to give out receipts for services you provide. Now, the other thing that this means, it means that you provide a service for that company, right? So I, as an employee of the skincare product company, would actually not be an employee, would be a collaborator, right? So we would have a collaboration contract in which it's stated that they're paying me X amount for X service, right? It's very close. It's very similar to an actually working contract, right? When you actually are employed and you sign a contract with the employer where it's stated that you do and things, right? Your responsibility and the employer's responsibility. However, with one of these contracts, the employer basically doesn't have any responsibilities. Like, seriously, aside from paying you on time, they don't have any responsibility. They don't have to give you benefits, like they don't have to give you any type of insurance. Your insurance is your own. And while it is true that there are some companies that don't give insurance out anyways, right? They don't give benefits anyways. There are taxes that are paid by the company, right? So while you pay some of your income tax, because you do pay income tax, like there's income tax is paid in every country on earth. However, income tax for an employer, for an employee, and income tax for a company, they're two very different things. You pay a lot more as a company than you would as an employee. Plus, as a company, you need to pay taxes for your employers, right? You need to pay some taxes for your employers, and some of their taxes, some of their income tax is supported by the employer. And by being self-employed, they get rid of those taxes, right? So there are no more taxes, no more employee taxes. Another thing that they get rid of is workforce limitations, right? So working hours. They get completely rid of that because you're not an employee. So since you are not an employee, the same rules that would apply to somebody actually being an employee and as working hours go, don't apply to you because you are not an employee, you're a company, right? So they can make you work 10, 15 hours a day, 10, 11 hours a day, 6 days a week. So that is one thing that I can't get over. The fact that they pretty much shun all responsibility and shove it onto you, and there is no option, by the way. You don't have the option to not do it. You don't have the option to actually be an employee and say, sure, fuck it, pay me a fixed amount of N, or still pay me less commission, right? I'll be fine with that because I've worked on commission before. I've been a realtor and it was pretty good. Let me tell you, it was pretty damn good for a while there. While it worked, right? And I was still working around 10 hours a day, but that was because I wanted to work 10 hours a day. Nobody obligated me. Nobody made me work 10 hours a day, right? And if I worked more, I would get more, right? If I actually made money for the company, I made money for myself too. So, hold on just a second. Okay, that was my father actually telling me that food's ready. And I think I'm a bit hungry. I've eaten a bit today. Not sure if I'm actually hungry right now. I kinda am. I could eat. Yeah. So yeah, unfortunately I'm not going to London. Or maybe fortunately. I don't fucking know. Uh, it's debatable how fortunate that is. What the shit? What the? Right. That's the problem. God damn it. See this block lag. This is due to uh, the processor being a little bitch and not working at full capacity. And let's see how long it's actually been. It's been 26 minutes. I guess I could stop it here. Like on this ledge. Eerily dangerous. And when I come back, just randomly press forward and jump to my death. Oh, I wouldn't die if I fall off here. Yeah, I don't think I'd die. Be a bitch to get back up, though. But, yeah. Okay, I'll stop it here. So, yeah. Didn't feel half bad to get all this shit off my chest. This is what Minecraft might actually become. A vlog type thing in which I talk about shit in my life. Fun for the whole family. Okay, I'm gonna go eat now, so save and quit the title. Yeah. Talk to whoever's watching this next time. I don't know when that's gonna be, because I still feel extremely shitty because nothing's going my way lately, but whatever, let's not dive into that. Right, till next time, bye.